Hello and welcome to your Thoughts from the Green Room with your host, Jeff Mays. This week's topic is on giving yourself credit. As an artist, as an actor, I recognize that I'm exceptionally critical of myself. I go to watch a movie that I've been in and I sit back and I spend more time criticizing than I do enjoying it. I get compliment from my friend after doing a performance, and I say, thank you, but, and then I fill in all the things that I can do. This is something that I recognize that everybody does, but I feel that artists do it more often. When I listen to my friends who aren't artists, they can be critical. They can, say, I gotta do better at this or I gotta do better at that. But the level to which they seem to take it doesn't compare to artists. And I think one of the reasons why that exists is that as artists, we are in the spotlight. We are under the scrutiny of other people. And our product, what we put out there, is judged by the standard of what somebody else would want. So, for example, as an actor, I do a performance and I portray a famous character that everybody's read in a book. So everybody has an idea in their mind about what that character should or shouldn't be, and the value of my work depends on how close it gets to that opinion. So I get to be exceptionally critical of myself compared to the source material. You get the idea. So with that in mind, I was thinking about how hard we are on ourselves, and the reason this all came about was last week, 2 weeks ago, I went to see Bible, that film I've been talking about for the promotion of awareness towards muscular sclerosis. And it's one of the first films that I had the pleasure of watching my own performance and recognizing that I simply was doing a good job by my own standards, and I sat back and I enjoyed. I didn't have anything critical to say. It was very, it was like a giant release. I can't think of the right word. It was very freeing. And to that point, I had been talking last week with my good friend Susan Applewhite, and if you're interested in Susan, she's another artist, actor, singer, songwriter, actor, all-around wonderful, talented lady, and this is her website. Take a look at that. There we go. And she said something that stood out to me. She said, "We forget where we come from. We forget how much work we did to get where we are and to give ourselves credit for it." Powerful. She reminded me about the fact that she wasn't feeling necessarily the greatest one specific day about where her career was at that specific moment in time. And on that specific day, she had walked past a restaurant which she used to work at. And she recalled as she walked past that restaurant that while she was there, she hated every second of it and truly believed at one point that she was never going to get the chance to leave that place, that she would wake up when she was old and gray and aged and still be working there. I smiled, and she smiled back to me because I knew where the story was going. She had said, that day, I realized how far I had come and how much I had achieved. And passing by that store in that given moment where she wasn't feeling her best, she started to feel a whole bunch better because she realized where she'd got to. And that's where that idea is, we forget where we come from. So with all that in mind, we go back to artists and people in general being critical. And yes, it is, I think, powerful and important to look at your work, look at what you're doing, and give fair critique to it so you can grow. At the same time, I think it's very important to remember where we were and what we've done and give ourselves credit. So, with that in mind, I leave you with your seemingly obvious challenge. This week, take a look at some of your work and give yourself credit for it. Take a look at where you were and where you are now and evaluate what you're being critical on based on what it is today versus what it was then. Those are your thoughts from the Green Room. I am your host, Jeff Mays, and I'll see you in 1 or 2 weeks.